guys, I hope everybody's doing well. So this is Crystal Rose Tarot and I'm Holly, and we're going to take a look into a mystery reading. Now, in these mystery readings, you don't really know what you're going to get until you get into it. And I like doing these, to be honest, because sometimes it's like, you want to listen to a reading or you want to get into a reading, but you don't really know like what you're really asking. Do I really want to know this or do I want to know that? And so, mystery reading. So these are meant to be entertaining. Always keep that in mind. Hopefully you get something good out of this that can be helpful as well. Okay, so let's give these a quick shuffle. This is the Inner Child Healing Oracles that we're going to use. So you may resonate with what the card says here on the oracles. It could be the number, it could be an image as well. Okay, let's see. Pile 1, pile 2, and I'll turn these over as I get them all out. Pile 3 and pile 4. Let's see what we have here. Okay, pile 1, y'all have number 41. You can do hard things. It's not as impossible as it feels, or as it may feel. What a pretty card. I don't know that I've ever seen this card. Okay, so pile 2. If y'all are wondering and you can't see it on here, there's dragonflies that are here. They're kind of hard to see, so I don't know, maybe that was a symbol for somebody. Pile 2, y'all have number 32. Set boundaries, claim your power, and know your value today. Okay. So pile 3, y'all have 22. Let it come forth. Give yourself permission to feel. Okay. And pile 4, y'all have number 28. Review your responsibilities. Not all responsibilities are ours to hold. Boy, that's so true. Such a hard lesson, isn't it? Okay. All right, guys. So, like always, there'll be a little bit of a meditation after the intro. You can pause it right there. Close your eyes. Make sure you're please setting your intentions, whatever you need to hear for your highest good. Never let a reading take away from you in a negative way, okay? So, if you start to feel uncomfortable, you start to feel like it doesn't sound like you and you're trying to really force it or make it fit, just know maybe that reading's not for you. You are in control of this video. Please keep that in mind. And also keep in mind these are meant to be helpful. They really are meant to be entertaining and helpful. And if they're creating any kind of hurtful feelings, just you have to be able to utilize the ability to click off when you need to. Okay, so with that being said, timestamps for everything will be down below, and I will see you at your pile. Hey, pile 1. So if you chose number 41, you can do hard things. It's not as impossible as it may feel. So I pointed out in the intro these dragonflies, and ancient wisdom is something that can represent a dragonfly. Also a transformation for me, but you have this sail ship that's up in the clouds, and the sail ships, especially like the Six of Swords, always comes to mind, but it's about like growth and expansion and moving beyond certain things, getting to a calmer peace of mind, a calmer place. Being this is in the clouds, I want to say this has to do with, conflict, understanding, and maybe some mental confusion going on. It's internal, I feel. For some of you, this might have something to do with communication, but there's something here you're really internalizing, and with you can do hard things. I think that this has to do with whether or not you're capable or ready for the change that you're fixing to take on, because there's been some things that have been confusing and some maybe even upset about certain things, confusion about your situation or how things played out, and that's starting to settle, and you're starting to fall into reality of now this is the way that things are going to be moving forward. And you're setting yourselves into a calmer place, a calmer peace of mind when it comes to that. Especially where it says it's not as impossible as it may feel. And I think that's what's been going on with you. I think it's been feeling impossible. And I think that you are accomplishing, the impossible here. You're working yourself through that. Okay. 4 is about your stability, and 1 would be yourself. And so again, it brings me back to this thought of making peace with the situation, finding peace within yourself about it. Because those are 2 different things, right? You can make peace with the situation and realize that, okay, I got to move forward. I don't, the world is what it is. Things are the way they are. I don't have a choice in the matter of this. The world's going to go on, and then there's the internal battle, the internal moving on. And that takes a lot longer depending on the situation that you're going through. And so you've been in 2 different worlds almost, and you're starting to catch up to the outside of you, the reality, the routine, starting to catch up to that, the reality, things starting to sink in, And there's a lot of emotions I feel like that come from that too, Depending on the situation, sadness can be one of those for things not being no longer, that era or that time in your life is now at a standstill or not going any further. So, okay. Let's get some cards. Let's get some cards. I feel like I stayed on that a long time. Hopefully that resonated. Maybe y'all just needed more maybe y'all just needed more clarity that this was for sure your reading. I'm looking for cards. Here we go. This is a mystery reading, so hopefully that helped if you needed it. This is the Moon Moth Goddess cards that we are going to use. You can do the hard things. It's like Alice in Wonderland, you do the impossible things. You do so many impossible things before breakfast. You really think about it. Okay. I feel like this has to do with something you never thought you'd be doing, or never place you never thought you would be, or things wouldn't be this way. There's just like this. It was a hard reality. There's a hard reality here. Okay. Tell me about pile 1. What do they need to know about this? They can do hard things. What do they need to know about this? Offer. Okay, so you have some kind of offer coming in. An offer, some kind of offer. Dreams. Suspicious. Somebody's offering you something here, and with dreams being here, and you can do the hard things, and they're in the clouds and this. For some of you, there's something here this is about commitment, okay? So this is either a relationship. You do have the invitations and the wedding ring here. So this could be about a relationship. This could also, what's funny too is I think that you're being handed something that it's just like this. You're being handed something that wasn't really what you thought coming. It's not the way that you expected or what you anticipated, but it's still like being handed to you on this golden platter of opportunity. So I feel like it's some sort of opportunity that you didn't imagine that's just kind of showed up in your life in some way. And because of maybe the unexpectedness of this, I think that it's rose some suspicion inside of you about moving forward with this. For some of you, this is like a career opportunity, a relationship, maybe an opportunity just for a change to take place. This could involve some kind of move, or I don't know. It's different for everybody, right? It's something here though, and I think it could be like the perfect fit for you. And for some of you, even though it is, you fit well into it in some way, you're still like trying to figure out what's behind it, and with this suspicious here. Give me some more about this. Give me one more, please. Beginnings. Yeah. There's a new beginning here. There's a new beginning. And it's suspicious. For some of you, this is suspicious because you're, second guessing a lot of it. Because it is kind of unexpected, and it is being kind of handed to you in this way. It's almost like too good to be true kind of energy, so it rises some suspicion here. But this is an opportunity for a new beginning. I do feel like something about this is going to involve some hard work or a lot of effort, because of you can do the hard things. And this could just also be part of whatever it is that you're leaving behind as well. Bottom of the deck is, loyalty. The dog. And next to my cat. Loyalty here. I don't know why this dog in particular, this is a bloodhound, I think. Is that what they're called? Bloodhounds? Anyway, just kind of popped out of my mouth before I even thought about it. But, this may, somebody may have a dog like this, or this just symbol or this kind of animal reminds you of something. We have power underneath that. Yeah, there's power in loyalty. That's something here that you may be learning. I feel like with this offer, either this has to do with the relationship, and loyalty to that can lead to, having that companionship, or that loyalty, can make you feel stronger, as far as being in life in general, to have that kind of partner there. But for some of you, and this may be a renewal in some way too for some of you. But for others of you, this has to do with some sort of particular opportunity that's being offered to you that you're a perfect fit for, but it does involve loyalty. It does involve loyalty not only to the situation, obviously, the commitment you'll be making, but also to yourself. So it's gonna, it's gonna require some hard work and some discipline and some routine and getting into getting into certain things. For some of you, this may be like you have to make some sacrifices here, So gives you something to think about. What do we need to know about this? So we are going to use the, I'm arguing with myself. Okay, yeah, we're just going to use this one. This is the Tarot of Curious Creatures. I pulled some more. I always pull the tarot out that I'm going to use, and then as I get into the reading, I'm like, either I know right before or during the reading which tarot I'm going to actually use for that pile. But I picked this one for y'all, and I almost second guessed it, but I feel like this is right. Okay, the Tarot of the Curious Creatures. It's a Chris Ann deck. Okay, let's see what y'all need to know. For pile 1, what do they need to know? For pile 1, what do they need to know? Okay, you have the 5 of Swords in reverse. So this can be an opportunity to make amends, an opportunity to, an opportunity, Huh. For some of you, this is something that you're just kind of, like you said yes to, but you were still on the fence about it when you said that. Anyway, 5 of Swords in reverse here with offer, to me is kind of like insinuating that this could be some sort of opportunity to close out something that was confusing you, or something that you were conflicted about. And like what I said, some of y'all, I feel like you kind of just said yes to something in order to get past some sort of confusion, conflict, or something that was going on here. Huh. And there's high heels she's wearing here, and you have the high heel here. We're going to come back to that. There's more to that. There's a lot more to that. Wise dreams here. because some of you, this is internal or external conflict as far as this offer goes. Dreams. 9 of Pentacles. That's strange too. Why is it strange? Because it's kind of contradicting. Dreams kind of contradicts it. With this particular card, you have these this wedding ring, and you have these invitations here. Oh, you know, I've never saw that before. There's earrings on this card too. So but it is 2 rings. Sacrifices. In order to obtain this commitment or whatever this is, there's something to do with having to make some kind of sacrifice. Now, for some of you, this has to do with your own independence in some way. Like you're going into a partnership with someone, or this is a relationship here with someone. You're going to have to go into a contract or agree to something. But it's in order to obtain the abundance that you desire, or the peace that you desire in whatever way, you have to, there's something here that you're going to have to sacrifice in some way. That's crazy to get that from that card, but suspicious. The 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. You're worried about, and you're suspicious here about what's the long term going to look like? What's the long term of this? There is a fear around this. For some of you, this has to do, okay, I'm going to sign this contract and it's going to be for 2 years from now, but what's the outcome of that after the 2 years? What happens there? You know, what's in that contract about that after the fact? That's something that either you're looking into, you need to look into for some of you. For others of you, if this is a commitment, then this is you being worried about the long run. And I didn't notice this before. Some of you may actually be sacrificing a relationship by going this direction. Some of you are making a decision to become independent from a relationship in order to have some kind of new beginning where you feel like you will be more at peace or more abundant. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Death just came out in reverse. Yeah. Y'all, you don't want to repeat another cycle. You know, it's funny I said fear is here. This is fear of repeating another cycle when it comes to this new beginning. You don't want to end up somewhere. You don't want to end up going backwards. You don't want to end up somewhere where you're repeating the same cycle that you've experienced in your life or with someone, you know, or like a family cycle, like doing the same thing that the rest of your family has been. I don't know. You want to make some sort of change when it comes to this new beginning. You don't want to repeat something. Why is that 5 of Swords here? In reverse. 3 of Wands. So this has to do with your growth and expansion here. So this is an opportunity to grow beyond something or expand. For some of you, this can be a conflict with someone else, or this is just internal, because there are sacrifices that you're going to have to make here, and you're thinking about that a lot, and you're also thinking about, like, okay, what will this look in the long term from now? And you're worried about, if you stay where you are, you could repeat another cycle here, almost kind of even waste time or energy in some way. But if you take this opportunity, it will require some sort of sacrifice on your part. It will be difficult. You will have to put a lot of effort, more effort. You will have to put a lot of time or energy into this. And I think when you receive this offer that you're getting here, you're going to be sitting with it for a minute. trying to work through internally all the pros and cons from the situation. What's the Nine of Pentacles here? The King of Pentacles. You have a dream here of being abundant, being at peace, having everything that you need. This opportunity, it does give you the chance to live out that dream of whatever that looks like. Some of us dream of abundance. Some of us dream of community. Some of us have dreams of peace, harmony. And whatever that is, it's like, this is like this is ultimately your goal, ultimately what you want. And so you're thinking about this and you're like, is this offer going to bring me what I'm wanting here? It's where I feel good about where I am and I'm ready for more. Is this that? Some of you, this really has to do with, can I make it on my own? Can I acquire this on my own? This is an opportunity for me to acquire something on my own. Why is the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse? This can also look like I have to be smart and strong and reliable and determined here. I have to be, if I want to be this person, or if I want to feel what I'm wanting, like that harmony or peace, I have to be like this. King of Pentacles. You want to be a king, you have to act like a king. You have to represent yourself in that way. It brings me back to loyalty, and power. Tell me about these Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. The Ace of Pentacles. There's the offer that you're thinking and you're wondering about. You're also like, yeah, this could be like you're worried or you're thinking about the financial part of this. Some of you're thinking about if something in the long term, what would be taken away. This is a concern. This is a worry that you have here. But on the flip side of that, if you don't take this opportunity, then you're looking at possibly repeating some sort of path or some sort of cycle in some way. You really want to make sure that you have enough of something, right? Or what it is that you need. Why are you thinking about this so hard? It's because I feel like this is some sort of, this would be a life change. I also feel like that also the sacrifice of something else is here. And this is going to require a lot of work. Three of Cups just came out with Death in reverse. With beginning here. This is being afraid of repeating a cycle like you have with others. So last time I was in a situation like this, it didn't end well. Or, I really want to be in business with that person, but last time I was in business with a friend or a family member, it didn't end well. That's always not a great idea. I don't know, it's just this pattern of, I don't want to repeat what I did in the past. I want to do something differently. So in turn, kind of trying to create that. But it requires a lot of loyalty and work on your part. Okay, but what do they need to know about this situation? What advice can you give them here to help them with this offer that they're going to be receiving? What kind of advice? The Knight of Cups. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. The Lovers. Some of you, this is a relationship that's here. This is telling you to do what your heart is, where your heart is pulling at you, with the Lovers. The Lovers can also represent that divine connection with yourself. And for some of you, if this is about yourself, it's telling you to follow your heart and what you feel like you align with. And what you feel like is where you're meant to be, what your purpose is here. Gemini energies there. The Knight of Wands. 2 knights with the Lovers in the middle. Tell me about the Knight of Cups. The Six of Swords in reverse. Interesting. For some of you, this has to do with unpacking some things. Why do I want to say that? What is that about? Six of Swords in the reverse. The Hierophant in reverse. Basically, this is kind of insinuating that you may be, like, your heart may be pulling you in a direction that is going against your belief system or your idea of, again, what you thought you were wanting. But it can also be like going against odds. You know, going against something. Going against some kind of odds here with the Hierophant in reverse. It can be a rebellious energy, you know. So I'm feeling that. Like rebelling and going back to something. The Six of Swords is the card that I pointed out here on y'all's card that you got overall. Give me one more for that. That's Taurus that's there, by the way. Six of Swords. It's thrown me off. Because it's confusing in a way. The Fool. The Fool and this is the 2.0 Fool in reverse. I don't know how to explain this. It's got me stuck. It's hard to explain what I'm feeling in my head, or thinking in my head, because this can be like doing something because it's what your heart is pulling you towards and what you feel like you need to do. But I also feel like it may be somewhat rebellious because it may be, I don't know if it's not popular, you're going against someone else, like what they feel like you should be doing, or it's different from what, so different from what you're doing now. You're just like rebelling against whatever. And I don't know. There's something that's here that you were passionate about. There's something that's here that your heart wants. And I think that you're going towards that. For most of you, but this is supposed to be advice. That's why it's throwing me off, because I believe in free will, you know. So I think it's kind of just saying whatever you decide, just make sure that you're following your heart and you're putting your heart into it. Whatever it is that you end up deciding, make sure that you're doing it with all your heart. That's what this is saying. Okay, so why is the Lovers here? Because the Lovers is also a choice. The Empress in reverse. So as far as advice, only make the choices that you know are going to align with you, that you know are what is meant for you, what you should be doing. That's what this is kind of saying here, okay? The Empress in reverse is, some of you, this is committing to someone, but some of you, this is not committing to something. So this can be like when you're looking at something and you're choosing not to grow there because you don't align with it anymore, or it doesn't fit with you. I'm going to do something different. I'm choosing to do something different here. I'm choosing to not go in this direction, but go in this direction. And yes, it's very different from what I've been doing, and it's very different from what I said I wanted, or it's very different from what everyone else does. But I'm going in this direction because I'm following my heart. I feel like this is the where I'm supposed to be moving. So I'm doing it. And the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Wands is here too. Tell me about advice-wise. What does that mean? You have an Eight of Cups in the reverse and the King of Cups. What is going on here? Okay, hold on. Hold on just a second, okay? Let me sit on this for a minute. You got Scorpio energy there as well. Some of y'all, this has to do with making a choice around a relationship and what you want to hold on to and what you're wanting to let go of. But for some of you, this is a contract, and you may be stepping out of a commitment to find your own independence. But for others of you, this is you aligning with something that you feel like you can grow with. But this is about a choice. Because it's kind of saying over here, if you don't follow your heart, then I feel like your emotions may take a while for you to balance your emotional self out here. Because your heart's always going to like tug on you. Well, what's the Empress in reverse about exactly? Libra, Taurus energy. The Four Swords, this is you overthinking. This is you overthinking here. Okay. Let's bring that together as far as advice goes. So what I'm seeing is you have two different ways. Is this two different decisions? Is this two different routes that they could take here when it comes to this offer? The Knight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, okay. So this is up to you which route that you take. The advice in this is basically telling you that because you're stuck I feel like in this place of overthinking this opportunity or overthinking this situation here, if you follow your heart and do what your heart's calling you to do, even if it's going against some sort of prior commitment or belief or tradition in some way, it's basically kind of saying that you won't regret taking that chance. But if you don't, and you decide just to go towards whatever is the easiest or whatever you've been doing or something that's been efficient here at this time, if you take that route, then I feel like it will take you a while for your emotional self to be balanced again, because there's always going to be like this part of you for a long time that wonders, what if I did do that, or what if I did take that chance? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Yeah, the Four of Pentacles in reverse. You will let go of this eventually, but it's just saying, yeah, it's just gonna always be that little thing in the back of your head that's just like going, you know, I wonder if I made that choice, what my life would have been like. Or I wonder if I went that route, if that would have paid off, or if things would have been different. I don't know. There's just this, that's here. Okay, so let's see what the, I want to know what the Fool in reverse is. Strength. You can do the hard things. You are capable of doing whatever this is when it comes to following your heart with this. You just have to believe in yourself. Some of y'all may feel like you're the black sheep here, because you don't want to do things in the same way that your, family's always done them, or The community always kind of goes. You feel like alone, or you feel different, or you feel like there's something different for you. You have a different type of purpose or something like that. And you feel called towards that, whatever this is. But it does require strength. But it's not as impossible as it feels. Yeah. This requires too a lot of emotional strength, a lot of patience, having a lot of grace with yourself. There's a lot of effort that goes into this, a lot of emotional, I almost said emotional stamina. Yeah, you have to be very strong, emotionally, internally strong, and very patient in order to go this direction that your heart's calling you. It's harder. This is the easier route, but it's not emotionally balanced for you because your heart's always going to be lingering over here. Okay, so why are you overthinking this to this extent with that Four of Swords in the reverse? Advice? The Tower. Okay, because we're going back to what I said before. If whatever choice that you make here, it can cause this Tower moment. It's going to cause a ripple effect. It's going to cause other things to happen in your life. We talked about that earlier. It's going to have an effect. It's going to have an effect here, whatever the choice of whatever it is that you make. Scorpio energy. Any advice around that? That's the sacrifice that I was talking about. 10 of Pentacles. For some of you, this has to do with stability, family, financial security, or your peace. So that Tower is, this could also be a foundation, your safety, your home, like relocating, whatever it is. It's like you've been in a particular area in your life or place, or this could be even like a relationship, longevity of a relationship. This would disrupt all of this in some way, even if that's just a routine that you've always been on. Okay, the Nine of Cups is at the bottom of the deck in the reverse. So I think that somebody with the Chariot under that, you have a hard time following your own heart here, because I think one of the reasons is because even though you have the courage, or you know what you should be doing or you need to be doing here, when you have too much on your back. I love this card. Look at the way that he's like looking with his mouth open, and he's looking at that sand going, oh my gosh, I gotta carry all this through the sand. That's funny. I always think about my horse. When my horse would misbehave, we used to work them in the sand because it builds their muscles, and plus that, and when I got my horse, he was he was with somebody that didn't take care of him, and he was very skinny, and I got him back up to looking like a beautiful masculine muscly horse. And anyways, we used to do that when he would misbehave, and work them, and next to this King of Wands, it's like whatever this is, taking on the weight of something or responsibilities have made you strong, and they've made you capable of being the leader, of leading yourself in a certain direction. But you may be in a place to where you feel like there's other people that maybe somehow or another relying on you, or they will, and it's like you don't want to, there's other people that may be dependent on you, and you don't want to do something just because that's what would make you happy, and then those other people that rely or depend on you, you've kind of, you've made the wrong choice for them too. You know what I mean? There's something to do with needing to protect the tribe. That's kind of a feel that I get off of that. Cancer energy is there too. So Some of you, this is the opposite. It's like, it's not really what you want to be doing, but it is what your heart's calling you to do. And you kind of have to just put your happiness to the side, and that could be part of that sacrifice. Okay. Let's get some advice. Hope all that made sense. Let's do, what are we going to do for advice, actually? I don't know, you know? I want to do something different, I think. Let's pull an affirmator card. That's not really different, but there we go. And let's get a timing card. Why not? See what the timeline is on this offer here that you're going to be receiving. This could also be you giving an offer as well. Maybe if you see a window of opportunity. Okay. Tell me about this, please. Can you give me a time on this? Estimate of some sort of time here that may be important or relative, or when this occurs. There is no more time. Number 59. There is no more time. That might mean something to somebody. May the 9th might mean something to somebody. There is no more time. Yeah, for some of you, if you're trying to get out of this thinking, like reevaluating thinking, there's something to do with the deadline being here, or it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna change anything the longer you think about it. Like it's not gonna fix the situation. I don't know, something like that is there, okay? You also have number 32. Time will bring a surprise, okay? It's not going to tell me. It's just not going to tell me. So the timeline's going to be different for everybody, obviously. But you do have March the 2nd through May the 9th, somewhere in there. Could be relevant. The 9 months from now could mean something to somebody. But also the 28th could be important. Interesting. That's September from where I'm at right now, and it's also, the 9 is September, so that could be relevant as well. Okay, what affirmator do you want to leave? Oh, we'll take that one. Clarity. It's a good one for y'all. Are you ready? It says, stop listening to my inner self. Wait. Stopping to listen to my inner self. I can easily separate my intuition from my mental chatter. The clarity of my intuition is a sweet, simple fruit that tastes familiar. And the mental chatter is a confusing, bitter rind that I shall peel off and chunk into the garbage, or a compost heap if your mental chatter happens to be organic. So this is what I kept saying about you, and partially the reason why I got so confused when I was asking for advice, because I feel like your mind is in two different worlds, and that makes it really hard to give like advice when depending on who's listening and what world you're in at the time. So if you're in your heart space and you're feeling like following your heart, it's going to look very different from, no, I'm just going to stick where I'm at and stay in this routine, and and it's exciting sometimes, or it's, at least I know what's kind of familiar and going on. It's like just two different places. So, okay, if that made sense. And let's get a spirit message card before we leave. And then I'll get some initials close. Okay. What do you have for pile 1? Know if it was going to come out. Oh, look. Okay, so one of the pick a card piles is number 22, which I think is pile 3. Might mean something to somebody. Maybe you're drawn to that pile. I don't know. But this says open your heart. So it's really like that, following your heart, Okay. No one is perfect. Stop judging yourself and others and let love heal the situation. So for some of you, this has to do with, you know, allowing love to heal. And that doesn't mean that allowing love to heal a situation that you've already kind of moved on from. For some of you, this is just letting love be the factor. And even if you're leaving a situation, leave that with love in mind. It's just a way to remain open, you know, a way to keep your heart open so that you can enjoy the benefits of that in life moving forward. And it is a hard thing to do depending on the situation, you know. And most of the time when we get in anything that is disruptive to our heart space, we want to be closed off. But if we can learn to look at situations through the lens of love, at least if anything else, it helps us to be able to move forward and still carry love in our heart, you know. It's not an easy thing, but guess what? It is not impossible as it may feel. Okay, so live in the present. That helps. We have memories here with the camera. We have the owl, which always makes me think about being wise, smart. The owl's to me the all-knowing owl. I miss my owl that used to sit by my window in my last house. I love to listen to him. Always put me to sleep. But he was there, so it was always like a special treat. I don't know if that means something to somebody, but it was always like a special thing that he showed up. And it was just, I don't know, it made me think about listening to your higher self, you know, believing in your higher self. And when it comes, especially when it comes to choices. You have the bow tie. This always points out like being suspicious, which we didn't talk a lot even about that, because I think a lot of it has to do with what's the word? Normal, routine type stuff that you would be suspicious about, like normal things that you would be suspicious about, but knowing to be cautious and you know when to be cautious and look for those red flags. Things that when you're planning something out, you're thinking about your present and your future, and you can only, you know, just be smart about it. You can only plan for so much in the future, right? Obviously, there's things in life we cannot plan. There's situations we can't plan. There's circumstances and things that we can't plan. So it's just being in the present moment and focusing on that is really important when you get trapped in your head a lot, because anxiety ultimately is really kind of purposeless, because it's just thinking about things that may not happen. It's kind of a waste of brain space, but it's hard for me to say that because it can also alert you, make you aware of possible outcomes of things. But you have to be able to control that and be able to pull yourself out of it and be logical and reasonable and not let it turn into anxiety, you know? Anyway, that's a difficult thing to do. We have V here, so victory, or someone's name, Victor, Victoria, y'all know. It could be there. We have R, we have hashtag, so there's a lot more under the surface of things. We have RAN right here, R-A-N. We have rain as well. So RANIPNOR HGCNB LKZXY. Kind of weird how that went together, huh? YXZ. Okay. All right, guys. I am going to leave you here. There's a lot of things that are coming out in the bowl for me. I just saw Logan. Okay, I'm gonna leave you here. So thank you so much, guys. Don't forget there's a V here too. So thank y'all so much for being here. I definitely hope this helps. Good luck to everybody. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, pile 2. So if you chose number 32, set boundaries. Claim your power and know your value today. So there's an eclipse that's going on here, and there's 2 people that are standing next to each other in this long, like, corridor kind of area. Going off into this kind of entryway here, I feel like obviously this is a mystery reading, so we really don't know what we're going to get into till we get the cards pulled, but I do feel like this has to do with something that you've already learned, and now you're kind of taking control and claiming your power back and moving forward and walking through this entrance here. So I feel like with this eclipse, it's kind of like you can't see, you don't know, obviously, but you do feel in control. And I think that's really what we're getting from this card to begin with, is that whatever's we're fixing to pull out on the table, you are empowered at this time. You feel in control. And you also have, I feel like with setting boundaries, this is a lesson that you have went through this past year. This is something that you've learned, and now you're kind of implementing that, and you recognize your own value, your strength. You know, what you hold yourself, how do I want to say that? What you hold value in yourself as. That's a little different for everybody, you know. We're all unique in our own ways, and we're all valued in all different kinds of ways, and how we see ourselves is going to be very differently, but you have this particular value that you see in yourself, and this is how you've reclaimed your power. So setting boundaries, moving forward, setting boundaries is something that's here. For some of you, this might actually entail making some kind of decision. But I want to say these 2 people here, you may have someone that's close to you that you feel will support you in these decisions. Someone that's close by your side that you know you'll have their support here. But for others of you, this is like hand in hand with spirit, you know, and you feel like you're in control, and you feel like you're on the right path, and you have that support from the higher source. Okay, so if all that made sense, sometimes I feel like I kind of get carried away with the entry card. I like to call it the entry card. I don't know why. But that card, sometimes I feel like I get kind of carried away. 3 and 2. 3 is growth and expansion. 2 is about those decisions and finding balance. Together, 5 is about changes, which is where I got the, some of you may be needing to make a big choice when it comes to changes, but you feel in control. I think that that's the most important thing here. You feel like you're on the right path. Okay, so for you guys, let's pull, looking for them here. Okay, so we're going to pull the Revealing the Truth oracles, and I'm not sure why, but sometimes these can be very hard. I don't mean that like, how do I mean that? Well, I feel like that y'all have experienced some very hard things, or the direction that you're moving into in this decision that you're making may be something that's very hard. And I also feel like that's why it's so important that you feel like you have this support from a higher source, or you feel like you have the support around you. Okay. You're not in this alone. This change that you're having to go through here. Change. You're not in this alone. Okay. So what does pile 2 need to know about this setting boundaries? Ooh, Oh, I was wondering that. I was wondering that. Do y'all see how that just popped out? Breakup, walking away, separation, and ending. Now, this doesn't have to be romantic. For some of you, you're separating yourself from something. And, oh, addiction is here. You may be dealing with somebody that may have an addiction and you're having to make that choice to walk away. For some of you, but for others of you, this is you breaking a cycle here. It could have to do with something toxic within yourself. It could actually be walking away from someone, though, that you have like kind of deemed as being a toxic situation for you. See, I told you this was going to be heavy because this is these cards always, I seem to be drawn to these when it's like a heavier, more significant life thing, like a life. This is a big life move here for you, making this decision to pull yourself away from something toxic. And having support is also very significant here too. Empty room, no people, the end, and opportunity. I'm sorry, guys. My sister just sent me the funniest looking thing. It's a picture of Shrek with a cat in its hands. And it says, 1 minute you're young and fun, and then next you're falling asleep with your cat like this at 7:30 p.m. She's goofy, guys. That might mean something to somebody. Like maybe you're over it. Like you're just kind of like in a place to where you've outgrown or outlived an experience here, and you're ready to move on from something. With the empty room, you're definitely emptying some space. Okay. You're definitely emptying some space. You're either moving somebody's stuff out or you're just kind of getting rid of what's not good for you here, what's not right for you. It's like the end. This is done. Done deal. Gravity. Yeah, the gravity of the situation I feel like is very heavy. For a lot of you, this has to do with that actual physical move. Some of you, I don't know why I just thought this, but some of you may be moving closer to family for that support. Something big caused this. I don't feel like that this was just you. I mean, for some of you, this is a build-up, but I think there was a tower moment or like a finale or a finalization of something in some kind of way that has kicked this drive, this power in. It's always been there. You've always had the power to make this change, but this has like been that final push. There's something here that's been like a final push. This says attraction, magnetic field, and potential energy. Okay, I wasn't going to pull another card actually, but we have street here, circulation, sports and exhibit. Yeah, something being on display. I think this is part of what we're going to look at is whatever decision that you're making and what you're moving into, there's something here that you're going to feel like you're going to be like kind of on display. You know, people are going to be asking you questions or, you know, talking about it or, you know, whatever it is. It's like you're going to feel eyes on you in some way, or maybe even people actually confronting you and asking you about certain things. And I think this is something that you may be afraid of, or you may be worried or concerned going into this new chapter, you know. Some of you are like basically refusing, like, I am not going to start this new year with this anymore. You know, I have got to pull myself away from this. Okay, I'm actually going to leave this out. I'm just going to put it right here because I want to see what the bottom of the deck is as well. Law. Laying down the law. That's what you are doing. You're laying down the law. We have lawyer, judge, and police. Something in single is under that with message. I heard something. Okay. I keep hearing the same kind of thing, but just now I heard, Look for, investigate, message, single. I heard someone saying, oh, I can do this by myself. Make no doubt about it. I can definitely do this by myself. I don't know where that came from, but I talked about there being some kind of explosive kind of thing here. You have look for, so investigate, explore, and search, and then you have message here. So I feel like there's something that maybe you found or you've recognized, you've realized, you've seen, something that you were, if this is like a breakup situation, this is someone else, and you saw something that made you want to get away and want to isolate yourself, in some kind of a way. For some of y'all, this is much bigger. Like somebody was in some trouble. And you weren't even aware, or you didn't even see it or realize it. Okay. All right. So, lucky y'all, we're going to use this new deck that I got. I don't think I've used this yet. This is the first time, I think, as far as a YouTube reading goes. It is called the Tarot of 1909, I believe, right? And since it's round, it's very hard to take reversals. So I'm not going to take reversals in this deck. It's also very hard to shuffle, if you can't tell. But I'm a intuitive reader, so I can kind of read the energies. They don't have to be upright reverse. It doesn't matter to me. It's funny how people that don't like reversals will mention it, though, because I'm like going, it didn't matter if this card was upright. I could technically read it the same way. But I do like to pull the honestly pull the cards the way that they come out. And I did study both when I studied the tarot. So it's hard when you do that, when you study that way, because then when you do see that card in reverse, it's very hard for you to turn it around. Because you're like going, I know all the meanings behind this, and it lays on the table that way. So, okay. So we have a 3 of Wands, and there's your opportunity right there. So, Ace of Pentacles. 3 of Wands is that 3, what we talked about here, expansion, growth, waiting for the right opportunity. Waiting for the right opportunity. Whoa. You have a Queen of Pentacles. That's Taurus for me. Can be Capricorn, Virgo. Waiting for the right opportunity. And the 3 of Cups is here. There's your supportive energy. Okay. Probably only do 4 cards here, actually. This is going to take some getting used to, so y'all bear with me. I'm working on it. Okay. Waiting for the right opportunity. Tell me about the 3 of... Tell me about there's your power. There's where you feel in control, and you're holding the position of power. You're the one that's holding the cards here. Tell me what the 3 of waiting for the right opportunity. Distance and travel is something that's here, though. So separating yourself here from something and then moving into a new direction. Tell me about that 3 of towards this supportive energy here, right? Tell me about, but this is also where this scrutiny is something I just heard, but that's not as far as what I was going to go. I was just thinking more judgment comes from, but tell me about the 3 of Wands, the 10 of Wands. So creating this distance and walking away and having to wait for the right opportunity to do this is also something that has created this weight or this burden, because the responsibility is on you to change the situation, Tell me about that 10 of... 10? No. Ace of Pentacles. There's the Wheel of Fortune. So again, time is an issue here. Maybe you're just waiting for the right time to, some of you, if you're walking away from a situation that's not so great, you could be in a place to where you're having to make that plan and get that support and everything that you need prior to stepping away, as far as like a security issue goes, right? That Ace of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune here, I do feel like this is an opportunity for things for you for things to go better, an opportunity for you to get on the right track, for you to everything start looking up for you. And this feels very destined too. So I don't know why that is. I don't know how you actually got this opportunity for this change to take place. You may feel like this is the right time, waiting for the right time, and then there it is all of a sudden. So tell me about the Queen of Pentacles. This could be a mother for some of you. Oh, hold on. I just remembered. These are not written on. Okay, there we go. So Capricorn is heavy here. For some of you, this is this addiction that's here, isn't it? I wonder why it's not telling me more about how you got to this part. It's not telling me like how you actually got here. It just shows me that you've been carrying the weight. That's interesting. So there could be like a mother figure or family or something like that that's pointing this toxicity out to you. This could also be this supportive energy that's here. But this is like you looking at something and trying to take control of it, knowing that it's the devil. It's not good for you, you know. I feel like for some of you, if you are going through this breakup thing, that you may be looking at someone else as you don't know how this person is going to react to this. And this could be, again, why you're kind of waiting for that right opportunity. But let's see what the what's the Three of Cups here. Yeah, like Justice. I really feel like, especially with Justice being here now, this is this law energy that's here. I think that somebody's telling you something too. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get a lot of like side messages coming through. So if something comes through, it doesn't sound right, just don't take it. It's just leave it for somebody else, okay? Because there are a lot of little side messages coming through on this. This feels like a situation where something comes to your attention about someone or about yourself. Something's just, you realize something, it comes to your full attention. And then after the math, like there's a bunch of other people that are your friends, your colleagues, or your family, your supportive group around you that starts to, okay, now that you've seen this, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about this. And you're like going, what? Like this was part of this whole time? How was I so captivated by this addiction, by this devil energy, that I didn't see what was going on for what was going on? And so Justice is here. So I feel like this supportive, these other people around you are kind of like helping you to justify the decision that you're making to be the right decision. Does that make sense? It's like everything that these people are saying about you, like being on display, basically getting to comment here about what you're going through. These are people you trust, by the way. But it's opening your eyes more and more, and it's giving you that verification or justification that you're needing to know that you're doing the right thing, you're making the right decision. That's very important. Okay. For some of you, if this isn't people that you're around, and then this is like spirit giving you these little nuggets of information that are helping you, like, wake up. And it's like, okay, can't unsee that. Can't unsee that. Tell me about yeah, it's making you think more. Tell me more about this, please, with the Ten of Wands. Yep, that's what it is. It's the Eight of Cups. You walking away is like setting boundaries here, right? Something else is here too, by the way, that is one of those side message. There's something here about a mother, like a mother figure, a grandmother, something like this, where there is some kind of a codependency here, or toxicity, or like mother issue, or something like this. There's a dependency that's here. Some of you, this might have to do with someone's mother, like moving in with this empty room, you know, or like that was the final straw of something. I don't know how to explain it, but that's just what somebody's needing to know. That's something that's here. Okay, so as far as you putting up boundaries, you know, it's funny too, because with this Ten of Wands, this is like you gathering all these wands, and these are all the reasons, all the actions that happened, all the reasons why you are choosing to put some distance here and walk away. And yeah, it's difficult that you're having to carry all this weight, because you're thinking to yourself, you know, I have all these reasons of why I need to put these boundaries up, why I need to walk away here. Tell me about what somebody here, for some of you, is asking for an opportunity to change the situation. Let me get rid of something that I'm doing. That's not me. It's the addiction. You know, it's not me. It's whatever this toxicity is that's going on here. Give me some time, please. Give me an opportunity to show you, you know, that's there. I don't think that's going to work. Okay, so the Chariot and the Ten of Pentacles. Some of you, they may be pushing this because of, they may be pushing like something like this. Like, we could be really great. You know, things could be really great. Or we've been with each other forever. Or we have a family together. You know, all these kind of things are here with the Chariot and the Ten of Pentacles. Either potential, longevity, a commitment that you've made. Is something like this is what this other person, if that's the story, is giving you the reasons of why they deserve this opportunity to kind of change the situation. So that's that. Give me something else for the... But it's also your reasons as well. It's just a different way, you know, because you are also looking out for the longevity, the family, the this, the that, you know. You're looking at it as more of a overall bigger picture. Okay. Not just fulfilling someone's need. Tell me about there it is. So this may be an argument here. And this, again, for some of you, is why you've kind of waited for that perfect opportunity. Is because this is a confrontation. For some of you, I feel like you're really taking... this has to do with someone having an addiction. And they may be kind of moving out and moving in with someone else here until they get past whatever addiction this is. And they also may be getting some kind of legal or some sort of support here through the like justice system in some way, or like, you know, a rehabilitation center or something like that. Something like that is going on here too for some of you. Somebody's story. Okay, so so you know you're going to this opportunity and taking this opportunity. It's obviously going to bring up some stuff. It's going to cause a conflict. You see that walking away is going to cause this conflict, and it's because someone. It could be somebody confronting you as well, but it feels like you're going head to head with someone that is trying to convince you you're doing the wrong thing. So you knew this was going to be a hard battle to face. Why is that? Hold on now. You have a Queen of Pentacles and that Devil there. There's that Ten of... See, there's something going on with family here or marriage, and feeling stuck or feeling tied down or feeling trapped by the fact that there's this establishment here in some kind of way. For others of you, this is like the outside interference that's causing, it's like somebody saying, well, that's my mother, And it's like, well, your mother is causing some serious issues here in our dynamic as a family or a relationship or whatever. That's somebody's story, but give me one more for that Ten of Pentacles. I think for some of you, you've kind of realized that you've been a little bit consumed by the potential that you saw within this person or this situation, and now you're kind of being pulled away from that and realizing that that is just potential, but that's not the actions that are being shown. That's something that you're realizing is not really what it is. You're just, I think for some of you, you may have been stuck in this for a while. For some of you, there's some kind of strings attached here because of family or a foundation, like empty room, like a home or something like that. Okay, so tell me about establishment that's here. This is also like a mother would be saying, come home, come home to the family and depend on, you can depend on us, come home to the family. This is to me like a way out. So, okay, anyway. Tell me about justice here with the Three of Cups. Should I take it? Yeah. This to me is the King of Swords. So Aquarius is here. This to me is the more and more you have that supportive group around you, the more and more your eyes are opening up, the more then you start to understand logically what the situation is. And like I said before, the more and more it's being justified through the lens of what other people are saying. Yeah. This feels kind of like a dynamic where you're dealing with somebody that has somehow or another isolated you in some sense. And you've had people around you, maybe even that you've had conflict over this situation with, because you were kind of in denial and you weren't ready to see what reality of what was going on. And I think that you have woken up to that. And because you've opened that door to allow another perspective, you're getting a lot of other perspectives. And you're really, just like I said before, you're really starting to just wake up bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. So what do you really need to know about the situation, though? Because I feel like this is what's going on. This is what's going to happen. What do you really need to know about this? The Chariot. You're doing the right thing. I mean, I feel like that's something that's here that you're needing to really see and know. With that Chariot, we're talking about claiming your power and knowing your value. And that's the Chariot, listening to your higher self, having faith that you're moving in the right direction and you're doing what's best for you. And the World is here, which I also have to cover. So yeah, and closing the cycle out, ending, moving, getting away, You are, come here now, she just can't help herself. You are doing the right thing. That's it. That's what you need to know. Pretty self-explanatory. I mean, if you look at the cards and the decision that you're making and the direction that you're going in, it's just like, yeah, you're doing the right thing. So what do you, hold on, I'm I'm going to pull something else. This is going to take some time. This is going to be hard, obviously. We already talked about that. You have the Eight of Pentacles that's here. The Page of Wands is underneath that. The Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, there's the... So, part of the reason that this may be something that's difficult is because... Yeah, there you go. Some of you do have family with this person. This is why it's difficult. But part of the reason why this is going to be difficult is because... I don't think this is going to stop here. I think this is going to be something that you're going to have to deal with throughout a period of time for whatever reason. I feel like it's going to take some time before you really truly find that peaceful place again. But it is something that you know you have the power to create for yourself. And you're doing that. Yeah, look at that. The Tower moment. You've had like a big wake-up call that's just happened here. Yeah, and it was very difficult to face, very difficult to look at. Yeah. And this has to do with somebody else's selfishness in some way. It's something that they were like in it for themselves, or yeah, this selfish kind of energy keeps kind of feeling like it's coming through here. So as far as the Eight of Pentacles being the overall energy, it's pretty much saying, yes, you're going to have to work on this. This is going to be something that it's going to be a continued effort to keep working on this, especially because if some of y'all are dealing with someone else, this is someone that's not just going to turn their back and let this go. And I think that you're realizing that this is going to be something that's difficult, either directly this person is going to be difficult to deal with, or indirectly because of their actions and how they respond. So if that makes sense. Either way, this is also saying to stay focused on what you're doing. Stay focused on growing and building. Whatever it is, whatever opportunity or direction you're taking to get away from the situation and on a new path, you are doing the right thing. Keep going the direction that you're going. And close this cycle out and continue to focus on growing, on building, on staying committed to yourself. Just keep focusing on yourself. You know, he has his head down, he's working, he's not looking at anything else going on around him. That's the message. Okay, so being that there's probably somebody here, tell me about what they need to be aware of with this person that they may not know. Marriage. What do you mean by that? That's that number 3, expansion and growth. This may be something that someone offers you as a pawn, or a to get you to give them some time. Okay. House. This may have to do something with a home. This is the same kind of energy I pulled a while ago with the Ten of Pentacles, and I don't remember what the other card was now. It just skipped my mind, but this is Judgment here with the House. This is be careful of someone isolating you too. I can see that here with this gate on the house, you know. So what is behind that? There's something else that's there. What is it? Look, you have the number 32. This is 32. 320. 320 could also be relevant here. March the 20th could be relevant here. Give me one more card. How do these two... This is supposed to be what you're supposed to be aware of with this person. What they can really provide and what they can't. Poverty. Yeah. This is what this person lacks. House in this card is like structure, stability, security. And then marriage is a commitment, honor, respect. You know, this is poverty here. This is what this person may ask you for time or try to offer you, but it's not what they don't have that to offer you. I don't think this person even knows how to give something like that. Message of concern. This person may actually respond by offering these type of things because they don't want to lose you. I already said that, so I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, coffin is at the bottom. This could be like somebody trying to do whatever they have to do to prevent a ending. Okay, because you're setting boundaries. Pretty strong boundaries, I would like to say. Let's just take a look. I want to see if there's someone here, what they would say to you if they were being honest. Looking for my cards. Okay. Found them. The hidden truth. Let's see what I'm sorry is here. Let's see what this person, I am waiting patiently, but it's in reverse. Let's see what this person would say to you. If there's someone here, what would they say? To call to. I still have feelings for you. I bury myself in work to forget you. That could be that, representing that for somebody. You came closer than anyone. This really feels like someone saying all these kind of things to you to get you to feel sorry for them. I mean, like, depending on the situation, right? Can you give me one more? We'll just do one more. One more. Last chance. 2 came out. I can't stop thinking about you. I fear that you will reject me, and you inspire me. This, I fear that you will reject me. This feels like somebody saying, I knew you were going to do this. I knew it wouldn't last. Everybody leaves. This feels like somebody switching it up, like becoming the victim after they've... I want to know, though, if this is like what we're looking at. This could even be family for some of you. What did this person do to you? I think y'all found something on this person. The Magician. They used you? They used you? Or you figured out that they're using you? Ooh. 3 of Swords. And the Knight of Pentacles. This is someone that used you in some kind of way. The Knight of Pentacles. What about the Knight of Pentacles? The Four of Wands. Ooh, the Tower is at the bottom. Did they do something? They did something about a home, marriage, reunion. This looks like a cycle. Maybe this is a cycle this person has done, because look, you have the 3 of Swords, and then you go from that to the 4 of Wands, which is like harmony. I honestly feel like if this is someone else here that you're walking away from, you've just kind of figured out this person's pattern of neglect and love bombing. But I think for some of you, it goes a little deeper than that. As far as them using you in some kind of way with that Magician there. But you have the Tower with that 8 of Cups, or 8 of Pentacles. For some of you, this person may have done something like behind your back, that you did some investigative work and you figured it out, and you're not happy about it. For some of you, they may have a mother or a motherly figure or an ex or somebody here that contributes to part of this. Like this all happened behind your back, and then like they were in cahoots with one another. That's what my grandma used to say. Well, they should get together and get in cahoots with one another. Y'all ever hear anything like that? Is that a real thing? Like my grandma used to say that. Cahoots. Whatever that means. Is that a real word? I'll have to look that up. Anyway, it's like something like that was going on and it got brought up to your attention. Okay. I feel like we have just gone as far as we can with this reading. So I'm going to start pulling cards for advice. And I'm going to start with these. So the gravity of this situation is significant. And for some of you, depending on what this is that they've been doing behind your back, it's almost like they tried to fix it before you found out. I don't know. Then it has some gravity to it. So it's not just that it's going to cause issues between you and this person. There's more weight to it than that. It may even cause some kind of legal issues for this person, for some of you. Tell me, can you give me some advice, please, for pile 2 about this situation? Actions speak louder than words. Yep. Make an effort. We have, if you want to know what someone's feeling, watch what they're doing. And I think that you have done that. You've recognized the pattern. Love is worth taking risk. You're called to move forward. Yeah, loving yourself. Deepening. A relationship you will finally deepen to in the next few months. You have been waiting for this. For some of you, this whole thing caused you to be separated from some family. Maybe it caused some, someone else spoke their mind here. This isn't everybody's message either, okay? Someone in your family or someone else may have spoke their mind about the situation, and you may have took offense to that because you were still in some sort of denial. That relationship will be repaired, okay, with this deepening. It will get better and better. If it hasn't already, it will continue to get better. We have stay optimistic at the bottom. Positive thinking and faith will bring romance into your life. So this isn't an overdone deal. If this is something romantic for you guys, this was just, yes, unfortunately, a lesson that you've had to experience. For some of you, this is someone that you will continue to be somehow or another, attached to, or not attached to, but strings attached to in some kind of way. Not everybody, but that's something that's here. So staying optimistic and knowing that positive thinking and faith will bring romance into your life. You continue to keep building and focusing on yourself. And when you're ready to be receptive to something new, that you will have those opportunities that will come in for you. And you just have to be optimistic about that moving forward. Don't let this situation mess up anything that you have going for you in the future. Okay. Not everybody is this way, I just feel like sometimes we need to be reminded of that, because some of us can go through and experience just bad situation after bad situation. And every situation, you just have to understand that you get smarter, stronger, better. And if you want it to, if you're receptive and you're open to it, eventually the right person for you will come along. But you have to believe in that. Okay. And some of you just, nope, I'm just going to be good on my own for a while. That's the way I am now. I like my peace. And I'll be open to something, in the future. But I like my peace. I like where my kids are at. They really need my focus right now. And yeah, I don't want any disruptions in my life right now. I'm good. Okay. Patience. Yeah, you have to have patience. Patience. Waiting with calmness. That's where I am. Number 13 here. That's death and tarot. That's Scorpio energy. And that's about transformation. Things will change, And this transformation, this change is going to take some time to, find your peace, find your calmness. Give yourself some grace here and patience. Okay. The ability to tolerate delay with ease and calmness. Patience paired with consistency is a miraculous recipe for success. Good things truly come to those who wait. Just wait. Trust that you are being guided and release any temptation to either rush the process or abandon whatever it is that you started. This card is a sign that you are on the right path. I told y'all, you have someone here showing you are on the right path. Trust your decision. See? And know that in the end, all your efforts will be worthwhile. Your affirmation is, everything comes to me at the right time. It's on page number 39. All right, guys, let's get some initials and some charms to close. We'll see what's... My phone's been going over there like crazy. That might be something here, too. Look, y'all have peace and you are worth it in the ball. That's awesome. That might be something that's coming up here, too, is that, you know, I've been getting distracted. But you know how, you know, besides my sister and her funny message, I haven't really let a lot of that take me away from the reading. And so that's something that's here, too, as well, you know. Somebody trying to look for reasons to kind of communicate with you, distract you, and needing to set those boundaries is still very important. You'll have to just continue to be doing that with the situation. Peace. Through service. So that little gear there is also like the, you know, the Eight of Pentacles for me. And it's just another sign just kind of showing you like it's going to take some time. It's going to take some work to find your peace, but you will get there. You are worth it. Yes, you are. You are worth that peace. Choose happy. And we have a lot of initials. Q, K, N, E, R, B, N, F, I, Y, F, I, Y. So, for your information, there's somebody here that's like telling you some things for some of you that you may have heard it before, but you don't remember it because you kind of brushed it off. I don't know, it has a different effect to you now. Okay, G-O-B, we have two S's, another F, another C. Nope, only one C. And a W or M. Okay, all right, guys. So that's that. I'm going to hold this up so y'all can see it better. I'm going to spread these out a little bit, and I'm going to leave here. So thanks so much, guys, for being here. Thanks for all y'all's love and support and kindness, of course. I definitely hope this helps. Good luck to y'all here on this. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, pile 3. So if you chose number 22, let it come forth and give yourself permission to feel. So I honestly think that this is insinuating something really good is fixing to come towards you, because 22 is 4, and 4 is a number of security, safety, and I think that you're going to be kind of crossed between, should I protect myself? Should I open up to this? So I don't know exactly what this is. We'll get more into it, but let it come forth. 2 is also about making that decision for yourself and making peace with something, balance. Also, I don't know why, but December the 22nd could be relevant for somebody, or it's just the 22nd together. February the 2nd could be relevant here. Okay, so let's take a look. Give yourself permission to feel. So whatever this is, it does have something to do with the way that it's going to make you feel. I think it's going to be something that's going to make you feel really good, like really good about yourself. It's going to make you feel like a whole new person, or someone even perhaps that's making you feel really good, like the situation itself. Or so, okay. Before we get too far into that, let's go ahead and get some cards. I'm going to use the answer oracles for you guys. To get started, comply and limit. Both of these have people on them that are kind of running away, right? Rules, laws, unwritten rules, and boundaries. So, unwritten rules. Comply and limit. How you can tell when something's really for you is if you put some sort of boundary, and this may have to do with take your time, doing something slowly, allowing yourself to kind of figure it out as you go, especially if this involves someone else. Then if they comply with that, depending on how things go, you'll know it's right for you, right? So doing things the way that you feel like is right for you will tell you if that situation is right for you or not. Doing something with you when you feel comfortable, can tell you if that situation is right for you or not. So in other words, like if it's the person that's meant for you will give you the space that you need to gradually get to know them. They won't rush you through anything. Okay. So, let's see. What does this have to do with this mystery reading? Let it come forth. Okay. Spendthrift. Okay. Waste, debt, and gambling. So, you're worried here, I feel like, for a lot of you, wasting your time, wasting your energy, maybe your resources. Reject, yeah. I think some of you are inclined almost immediately to reject whatever this is. Anniversary is here. That's funny because I actually set a certain day, December the 22nd, but it could be anything. An important day. Give me some more. What does this have to do with? Prosperity is here, so this temptation is right there. There's this good thing that's here. This feels like somebody wanting to offer you some sort of gift or some sort of blessing or some sort of abundance or some sort of, I don't know. You see it as a temptation. Gosh, I feel like I had a reading like this not too long ago. Similar to this. I want to say they had similar cards too. Huh. Anyway, let me get the bottom of the deck, actually. Actually, yeah. Let's just get the bottom of the deck energy. We have Run. I want to say this was really familiar. This feels really familiar. But this feels a little different. This feels like your initial reaction to this is wanting to run. But with the card that you chose, give yourself permission to feel it. It's almost like this is an internal battle that you're having with yourself. Like this urge to want to run away from this. Interesting. How interesting. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start getting the tarot out. And I'm going to start shuffling it as I'm talking. Like you have, wow. Okay. So you have the Empress and the Tower in reverse, Scorpio, Taurus, and Libra. And I feel like this is you, right? This male or female, this is just you feeling good about yourself, feeling good where you are. Give yourself permission to feel. This Tower, I think, with being in reverse, I think this is something that's coming in very sudden and very unexpected. Like you are not expecting this at all. It really throws you off. Yeah, Two of Swords in reverse, that the Tower, and this is where fear kind of seeps in because of the Two of Swords being in reverse, and you want to immediately reject it or block it, right? You see it as being something that's destroying your peace or what you've built or what you've created. Huh. Okay. This is the Pause Tarot that we're using. Tell me about this spendthrift. Waste, debt, gambling. The Four of Cups in the reverse. Okay. Well, that can look like when you become aware that you could be just wasting your time here. See the way that he's like looking at that offer that's being handed? It's like, nah. See how closed off he is? And he's leaning against this palm tree, which is the stability. It's like you're not willing to budge here. You feel like it would just be a waste of time. Okay? Tell me about reject. Some of you, this is like an opportunity in a career situation or something like that, and you just feel like this would just be wasting your time, so you don't really like move forward with something or look into it, or it would cost too much, or I don't know, something like that is there. Reject. Yeah, the Two of Pentacles in reverse. You feel like it would just be the wrong decision, or you already have too much on your plate. You already juggle. You already have enough going on, or you're juggling enough. You're looking at whatever this is like. Do I really want to take something like that on? I already have enough going on. So I think immediately you kind of reject this. What is anniversary here, though? The Eight of Wands. There's that quick, fast-moving energy that comes in. I think some of you may get some kind of invitation. I don't know why I can't say that all of a sudden. Super frustrating for me. I think some of you may get an invitation to something. This is communication. It comes in very quickly. It's funny. I think you've already had your mind made up, or you kind of settled on something, and then you get this invite, or you get this opportunity here. And it's like, it happens very quickly. Let's keep going. Why is the prosperity? Yeah, look at that. Ace of Wands. There's the opportunity right there. I think you've like your mind's made up, or you settled, or you're settling, or you're at peace, or you're in a good place, and then this comes out of nowhere, and you're like, wait a second. Tell me about that Four of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, the King of Swords, Aquarius energy. So you're like on your throne here, like, I'm good. I am good where I am. I am aware that this would be a waste. Tell me about the Two of Pentacles in the reverse with reject. Justice in reverse. So again, I feel like you're looking at this like this is not the right thing. This won't be this isn't the direction that I need to take. This isn't a healthy option or choice here for me. I already have too much on my plate. I won't be able to. I don't know why this just came to mind, but if this was like a lawyer situation and you were the lawyer, you would be looking at something going, that is going to be a total waste of time. I'm not going to be able to win that for them or you or whatever. It's not going to work. I don't think that I can even really give that the time and energy or effort that it needs to be given, and you like just kind of reject that opportunity in somehow or another. But then this comes in. Eight of Wands. The Fool, yeah. So someone takes a risk. Someone takes a chance. It happens very quickly. This communication comes in very quickly. This feels like spur of the moment. Don't even just kind of, I don't know what switches from this to that, or if this is two different people. I need more. I need more. Look, there's the commitment, and there's the Page of Pentacles. Okay. You thought something was over and done with. That's what I feel like. You thought either something was over and done with, or you get some kind of a message or something and you kind of brush it off, or you feel like it's just a waste of time, or something like that is going on. You just kind of felt like something wasn't going to be right or wasn't going to be fair, and you've pushed it to the side, basically. Then all of a sudden, whatever it is, it comes back around. It shows up. Communication comes in. Someone takes a chance, takes a risk here. And this is a certain day that this is occurring. Something to do with the certain day that this occurs. And there's this opportunity to commit here to something. Someone's offering you some sort of commitment. This could be like a new plan, could lead to some prosperity. It just kind of shows up. Okay, I need more. I'm trying to figure out what exactly this has to do with, but it's not really like narrowing it down. So why is the King of Swords here? You have Libra, Aquarius, King of Swords with that Four of Cups in reverse, the Three of Wands. So you felt like you were wasting your time. You may have even put some distance here between you and whatever this is. Like you waited for something long enough, or just put some distance there. Tell me about Justice in the reverse with that Two of Pentacles in reverse. The Ten of Wands in reverse. So you've kind of unpacked it. You've decided to not take on the responsibility. You already have enough going on. Focus on what you have going on. There's this rejection taking place. For some of you, this was someone that was rejecting you, or you just felt like they were. And so, or you saw it as an unhealthy option or choice. But then this comes in. So tell me more about that Eight of Wands and the Fool in reverse. The Ten of Cups. Okay, so something happens very quickly. It makes you feel really good. But you're still cautious here. Because this is going to be risky. You're not just like, somebody else is taking a big risk here, communicating something to you. Or with anniversary, this could be somebody like messaging you and telling you something about, like, well, we're right around the new year, so it could be about the new year. It's going to come in quick, and it's going to be unexpected. For some of you, this is an invitation to something. Somebody's going out on a limb here, and it makes you happy. It does bring happiness or fulfillment here. Tell me more about this over here, this Ace of Wands. The Eight of Swords. Here you are back in your head. Okay. Yeah, because you're going to have to make a choice here with this. So what are we looking at? Okay, so let's go back through this, because this is confusing. Because I don't know what exactly this is for you guys, and it's not telling me either. I'm not really getting like a dead set. It's what it is. It's some opportunity that you kind of, I guess either you gave up on an opportunity, or you've just kind of let something go. You felt like it was just kind of a waste of time. You turned your back on it, or you felt like there was just, you can't take responsibility for it, or you've just kind of unpacked it. You've let it go. You've laid that burden down, whatever that was. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get some kind of communication that changes what you were thinking before. Very abrupt, very quick. And it has to do with taking a chance. It could have to do with starting over. That's so weird. I just said it could have to do with starting over, and my music just started playing. Strange. But it does this communication brings in happiness, but it doesn't last a long time before you start getting in your head. Because there's some kind of, okay, we've had this communication, now let's set the plan. And this plan that's the temptation here, is the opportunity, and you have to decide what you want to commit to when it comes to this. And you really get in your head about it. What is the Ten of Cups? It's, you get in your head because you kind of stopped thinking about it, you know, and then here it is again. The Magician in reverse with the Ten of Cups. King of Cups. Scorpio, Gemini, Virgo. Somebody is utilizing a particular day for their opportunity or benefit when it comes to changing a situation, causing a redirection or communication. Okay? Let's just say your birthday's coming up. This person's using your birthday as an opportunity to communicate something to you. Does that make sense? Somebody's using the emotional tie to whatever this day is. Like, this would be around the holidays. You know, some of us get kind of emotional around the holidays. It's closing out of the year and all that. We're thinking about our year and everything. And this is someone that is using, okay, that emotional day to get something that they want out of it. And I think it has to do with the change. So this is something you thought was gone. You stopped taking responsibility for it. And you've let this go, right? You've put distance here, whatever the case. Now there's someone, you know, bringing some kind of plan or idea to you. And it's tempting. And it has to do with working together or committing to something with that Page of Pentacles. Bringing you something. Something like that is here. Starting over, a new beginning, apology, an offer, a gift. All that. All that. And this puts you in your head immediately. Interesting. I'm trying to figure out how this is tying back to give yourself permission to feel. Let it come forth. So, why are you in your head here, the Eight of Swords? I think maybe you may be worried about that, letting it come forth. For some of you, this is someone that's opening up how they feel about you, or like this could be somebody new that's taking a chance or risk on you in some way, wanting to make plans with you. So keep that in mind. Eight of Swords, tell me why are you in your head? The Five of Pentacles. This could be somebody that abandoned you, or you're worried about this. It immediately starts, if you have any kind of abandonment wound here, you start getting in your head about that, the Five of Pentacles. And also, this could just be with yourself. Like, you don't want to abandon yourself by feeling something that comes up. What is coming up? Feeling. The Hanged Man in reverse. By seeing something in a different perspective. You don't want to get stuck somewhere again. Pisces energy. Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. There's pressure on something here too, as far as the Ten of Pentacles in reverse can look like family, home. This is the abundance that's here. Being stuck on this. This could be why it's tempting. You have the 10 to the 5. Because it could change everything. Perhaps for the better. Or it could be that there's potential that could, and this could be some like a potential long-lasting situation, or things could be better here, you know. This is why you're in your head. What does this have to do with let it come forth? Which I think is advice now that yeah, temperance. The Queen of Wands. This is telling you to feel confident in yourself and your emotional balance. I don't think that at the time this is coming through, new, old, whatever this is, okay, this opportunity, I feel like you initially, like you want to run from this, because either this is something you've already experienced and you don't want to abandon yourself in this situation because of what you've already experienced here, or this is a new opportunity and you're just kind of worried about it, you know, messing with the peace that you've created or where you are. You know, you're worried about reliving something, basically. But this is kind of telling you to have faith in yourself, and the peace that you have created internally for yourself. Because give yourself permission to feel it. Let it come forth. Give yourself permission to take on these feelings that it's going to bring. I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit for what you're capable of handling here. It's just kind of like Spirit saying, you can handle this. You've got this. Sagittarius energy here. Temperance. Yeah, Page of Cups in reverse. You may be worried about your reaction or worried about your emotions getting the better of you here with that Page of Cups in reverse. Tell me about the Queen of Wands here. The Star in reverse. For some of you, if this is something new, it's kind of telling you not to let your past take the fun or the emotion out of possibilities that you could have in the future. You know, don't let it take it away from you. The Star in reverse with the Queen of Wands it's kind of like saying, have confidence in your healing. That's definitely one thing that's here. But when the Star's in reverse too, with that Queen of Wands being upright, I mean, this is kind of like saying, if you feel like it's not going to work out or it's not right for you, you have confidence. You should have confidence in yourself that you'll know what to do if that's the case. You know, this is basically, it's just saying, you've got this. I mean, that's kind of what it's saying. Let yourself feel what you need to feel. Don't let this hold you captive. You know, don't let it keep you stuck in this lack mentality, you know, of what you'll be losing from the situation. Think about what you'll be gaining, even if that's feeling even better in the end, you know, because you took up for yourself, or you were able to balance your emotions here out in some way. You know, whatever the case here, compromise, you know, whatever this is, you're able to speak up for yourself and speak your truth. You have confidence in yourself in this. Even if it ends up not being what you want, not going the way you want, it doesn't matter. It's like at the end of it, don't keep yourself captive here in the worst case scenario. Know that you have control in this. Like, you are good. You can do it. What's the outcome here with this, though? I pulled 2 cards. Yeah. I do feel like this is someone you already are aware of, but you have the 4 of Swords in the reverse, which is overthinking, you know, and then the 5 of Wands. And the 7 of Swords in the reverse. Everything that you need to know about the situation is going to be revealed to you. You're going to know. The Queen of Wands is someone that's very intuitive. You know, she's very confident in her intuition. And that's where you're at. You're going to be very confident in your intuition. This is like knowing what to do, what to say, when to say it. When you see something, you say something. You know, it's that kind of a feeling that's here. With that Four of Swords in reverse, it's like I think that you think that you're going to be overthinking some things, and I don't think that you will be at all. Four of Swords of how to handle this. Yeah, Knight of Swords. It's like cutting right through that. Five of Wands. Ace of Swords in the reverse. Yep. This is no nonsense, really. There may be some kind of disagreement around what the truth is about something. If you already know who this is or the situation, like this is like being clear and being direct. And I feel like if someone's not being clear and being direct, then it's going to show you, I mean, you're just going to be able to see what you need to see. The Seven of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, the World in reverse. Okay. For some of you, there may be something to do with some unfinished business that's here, and this is what you're afraid of. Let it come forth. You're kind of just blocking it or ignoring it, but it's still in your head mentally. It's still keeping you stuck or trapped. And you kind of want to just clear the air, but there's a part of you that's worried about abandoning yourself after you've been on this journey or being in this place to where you're going to end up worse than you were. And this is basically just reaffirming the fact that you have confidence and your intuition is on point in this situation, and you're going to know how to handle the situation when it comes up. Yeah. Everything's going to be shown to you. If you felt like you've had any unfinished business here, all of that's going to be cleared up, okay? Now, if this is someone new, I have to say, for some of you, you'll be able to confront some things that you see in this situation. Even if this is like a work thing or contract or whatever it is, it's like you're going to be able to take action if you start to feel like at all that you're starting to overthink or reevaluate something too much. You're going to communicate, you're going to take action about it, and you're going to confront. This feels like confronting someone's lack of honesty here, you know? And you'll know when you're going to look at it and go, okay, this is not for me, and walk away from it. I feel like for some of you, and this has been coming through a lot too, this feels like this like closing out of something where you're able to give yourself permission to feel it is for what it is. And then I think you're going to be moving forward with more confidence, which I feel like may open you up more to other opportunities and possibilities. Because, see, this is a situation that is kind of like being used to help you to not be so closed off, if that makes sense. What's going to happen after this for pile 3? What's going to happen moving forward from this? The Devil in reverse. It's getting rid of what doesn't serve you. Capricorn energy. The Five of Cups. What else? The Death in reverse. For some of you, you may go through like this, especially if this is someone that's kind of coming in and returning, and you're giving this a chance, you know, to clear the air or whatever. This is something that you're going to break yourself free from, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't, like, you may have some sort of, I don't want to say regret, but you may feel for an instant, that this was a mistake to let this person come back around or to feed into some kind of this opportunity here. But I feel like what it's doing is it's making you more so realize that the reality of an ending of something. But the sad part about it is I think you may be looking at a situation or someone and realizing that they have not changed. And I think that's really, for some of you, what this opportunity is about. And I think that really hurts because that's not what you were hoping for. But I think you're listening to your intuition, you're letting yourself feel what you feel, and you're making decisions based off of that. So that does, it does kind of suck because you have to experience the fact that this is someone that you loved and care about. At some point, it's not changed their ways, and you have to release this. But it also helps you to be able to completely move forward too. So, okay, so after that though, I want to see what else is coming towards you here after all this. The Wheel of Fortune. So, moving on. That can be something fortunate, fate, some sort of opportunity coming your way. The King of Wands. Y'all may have a fire sign here. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You showed up as the Queen of Wands, if you remember. Page of Swords. Some kind of communication here. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, the Empress. Some of you are going to get some kind of opportunity here to grow something. Something that will be very abundant. King of Wands. The Knight of Wands in reverse. Oh, you have somebody here that's unexpected too, that is very attracted to you. This looks like a glow up here to me, the Wheel of Fortune and the Empress. Tell me about that Page of Swords. The Six of Cups in the reverse. Why does that keep returning here? Give me one more for that. There it is again. The Three of Swords. This looks like somebody coming around, right? Somebody that's very attracted to you, but very unexpected. This person. Anyway. If there's someone here from your past that catches wind of this, that you're going to get some kind of, like, could be somebody that's spying on you that sees this. I just feel like this is somebody that's going to feel very hurt. But I don't feel like they have any reason to be. Because, I feel like you rejected this person, but there is this could be spying here at this Page of Swords. Now, if this is someone newer that's here that's coming into your energy after all of this other stuff takes place, and you kind of feel real confident in yourself, you're like having this glow up here, this opportunity to grow or to, have prosperity, feeling really good, feeling really lucky. Someone here you're drawing someone in that's very attracted to that's very attracted to you. And this is someone that's going to be very honest with you about their past. So they may have just went through a lot in their past, and they're going to be expressing all that to you. Some of you may know this person, some of you may not. Yeah, Seven of Cups in the reverse. This feels like somebody that's saying that feels like a meeting by chance, and someone that wasn't even really looking for anything, because they've just experienced whatever their experience was in the past was not great. So they weren't really even looking for any anyone. How do you meet this person? The Seven of Pentacles. The Nine of Swords in the reverse. How do you meet this person? You could be kind of waiting for something, and when you meet this person, waiting patiently for something. I don't know what that means. Like working on something or waiting for something. With that Nine of Swords in reverse, it's like starting to get overwhelmed. Being patient, patiently waiting for something. I don't know if this means like you're somewhere and they're waiting for something and you're waiting for something and then y'all start talking. You know, it's that kind of a feeling, or what is going on here. Yeah, Four of Pentacles. Nine of Swords in the reverse. The Eight of Cups in the reverse. I don't know why this is the storyline that's coming through in my head, but it's like when you're, let's just say you're at, I don't know, the doctor, or the pharmacy, or, you know, I don't know, you're waiting for something, the bank, and you're waiting to secure a spot or secure something here. And there's fear of walking away because you could lose your spot in some sense. This is how you're going to meet this person. I don't know what that means. I don't know exactly how that's going to play out or what that means. You have Judgment in the reverse and the Queen of Cups that's here. This goes back to Scorpio and Cancer energy here, and Six of Swords in the reverse. This goes back to sticking to whatever judgment you decide to make on the situation. Not allowing someone else to pressure you or blame you in any kind of way is something that's here. You are ready for this. You know, really, Judgment in reverse is not facing having a hard time facing the reality of things because of your emotions. And it's saying you may be afraid of your emotions coming out here, but you, I think, are going to be very surprised in yourself and how you handle the situation. So have more faith in yourself here, you know, is what it's saying. And then after all this other stuff occurs, I do feel like that you're going to have some kind of sudden, like, abundance or sudden prosperity. Something comes in very quickly, and along with someone as well that's very unexpected. There's like a chance of meeting here with someone. I'm actually going to get some of these cards. So if this isn't what you want, you know, you're not interested in that, then that's fine. Don't take the message. But that is something that's here. It's unexpected. If there's a window of opportunity, I saw a window there. Yeah, wish. It's like you've wished for something a long time ago, but you weren't exactly ready for it. And after you go through this experience and you have this new profound confidence in yourself, this is when you're receptive and you're no longer blocked off or blocking yourself from feeling anything here. Let it come forth. You're gonna feel really good. Can you tell me something about the future for pile 3, please? Sparks. Keep the sparks. Sorry, guys. It's super loud, wasn't it? Keep the sparks flying. Surprise each other with gestures of love. Yeah, this is going to be this other person that comes in, if this is what you want, it's going to be a really fun and exciting relationship. Butterfly here. You will meet a new love interest at a party or a night out. I'm telling you, some of you may get some kind of an invitation to something that you weren't expecting to get at some kind of way. Maybe you've already met them there and then this communication comes through later, you know. Anything else? Okay, I came out aggressive. And Star is here. I don't think I've ever seen this combination before. Your hope and optimism are a powerful love magnet for you right now. That's what I've been saying, is after you go through this other experience and you realize the confidence you have in yourself, then you become that magnet. And boy, you draw someone in so fast. We have unseen, love can be blind. Ensure you're not overlooking red flags. This is the lesson that you've learned. Love can be blind. And I do feel like that's why it's so hard for you to accept or go through this sense of closing something out here, because this is the whole point in this. Past returning, or whatever it is that's returning. You know, this may not be your past returning. It just may be that you're seeing something take place pertaining to your past that comes up. But with that being said, I feel like the whole point in that is for you to get out of this lack kind of, and you may not even feel like you are, but this closed off space that you're in, and allowing yourself to just be open to new experiences, because that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to have this new experience that come in, because you're going to feel really confident in being like, okay, I want to go for it. I'm ready. I think that, you know, I'll be able to trust myself in this situation when I see the signs, when I see the red flags come up, and I'll make the best decision for myself. Interesting reading. Very interesting reading. Okay. You may have dealt with someone that really just wore a mask here, and you were blinded by love there in that situation. What overall advice do you have for Pearl 3? Yes, you are correct. You have listened to your inner guidance and made a wise choice. Keep moving forward. There you go. There it is. Let's see what the bottom of the deck was. Someone new is coming, I'm telling you. Number 28, an important new relationship is on the horizon. Open your mind and your heart so that happiness can enter your life. That's what we're talking about. That's what this has to do about. That's so funny. Okay. All right. 28 to 38 could be relevant. I don't know why, but I don't know. Maybe this person's, maybe there's a 10-year age gap there or something. What is that? Oh, that's the V that was just placed in there. That's kind of funny. V for victory. Let's see if we can get some charms. 2. Yeet or be yeeted. Yeah, this is where you're not letting a situation take from you anymore, which has been like a repetitive thing here. Be a nice human. Maybe that's what you're afraid of, being nice to someone. You have a V here. Victory. We have UHBLECZKTAW or an M, and is another Z. Okay, guys. That is it. That's all I got. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and kindness. I really hope this helps. Good luck to you guys with this, and I hope to see you soon. Hey, pile 4. So if you chose number 28, review your responsibilities. Not all responsibilities are ours to hold. Okay, so if you notice on this card, you have these 2 ships that are right here on the shore, and she's kind of out of the ship, and she's looking directly at the sun. You have 3 butterflies that are in between her and the sun. There's this feeling here, kind of like, I would think, after the 6 of the Swords. So 6 of Swords is where you're getting in that boat and you're taking off and you're trying to get to a calmer place from what you've experienced. It's a transitional card. It's transitioning onto something new, something different, and something better. With that being said, this feels like after that, okay? So I think this is saying you're in this place here where you're now on the shore. You've reached this new place, and you're looking at the sun, which will be your happiness and your joy and your clarity and everything. You see the sun, you know it's there, but you also realize that it's going to be somewhat of a transformation in order to you to finally reach this point. So there's an overall feeling of like being practical here, especially when it comes to taking your own responsibilities. I do feel like you could be someone that was more influenced by, taking on others' weight as your own. And this could be something that you're evolving and changing. So you're not feeling that need to take responsibility for others, even whether that's others' healing or others' practical responsibilities. You're not carrying that weight anymore. You're going through with these butterflies, these different transformations of how you see yourself when you move forward. So now that you're in this calmer place, you're able to kind of look and see how that journey that you went through has changed you. And I think on your way to happiness, to clarity, or to being able to see your true authenticity, really, you're learning that you're different. You're not the same person that you were. And most importantly, you're not taking other people's responsibilities on as your own. So 28 is 10. 10 is the completion of a cycle. And with 2, I think you're finding your balance here with this new understanding. And I think it's gradual. I don't think this is the only thing that you're going to see about yourself that's different. I think there's going to be other things that come through. But you're on your way, right? You're on your way to finding your true self. Yeah. Okay. So if all that made sense, we're gonna get some oracle cards. I want to use the answer oracle for y'all. So let's dive in. Actually, you know what? I'm not feeling this. I'm actually feeling something different. We're going to get some of the Moon Moss Goddess cards for y'all, just to get some clarifiers to see where we're at here. I think this is going to be more self-focused, I can tell y'all that. This is a mystery reading, so we don't really know what we're getting into exactly until we get into the cards. But as far as what I've already described, you should be feeling like this is about where you are, okay? What does pile 4 need to know? What is their reading going to be about? What do they need to know? Wow, okay. Rest and stress. It came out together. Yep. Yeah, they do tend to come together, right? Rest and stress. To me, this is more going back to you and not taking on those responsibilities. And that rest is the energy we talked about. Your ship being now on the shore, and you have the opportunity to kind of sit and listen to your body, mentally and physically unwind. So you're in this place to where you're sitting and you're kind of integrating now what you've learned, the lesson, the journey that you went on, what it really means to you, and who you are now because of it. And with this stress that's here, cleanse and detox from unnecessary commitments is again a reminder of what responsibilities you have and to whom and why, and whether or not to take on certain responsibilities. I think that you're kind of just, like I said, integrating that. You're trying to figure out, okay, and this is gonna feel very different from what you're used to, okay? And we'll get more into that of why when we keep going, I guess. Rest and stress. I do feel like this may be challenging for some of you. I think that there are going to be some things that come towards you, asking for you to take responsibility of. We have happiness and divine timing. Yeah, you are responsible of your own happiness. You cannot be responsible of anyone else's happiness. You are only responsible of your own happiness. Now, you are responsible not to disrupt intentionally someone else's happiness, but that's a weight and a lesson all on its own. So it says happiness, new discoveries that lead to celebrations, love yourself first. In divine timing, everything has a higher purpose. So going through now and doing what you feel like is right for you, what's best for you, what you need to do, not taking on any unnecessary commitments, cleansing and detoxing from what you've grown from and where you are now. And then going into the sun, into this new energy, loving yourself in a whole different way, then the understanding of what all you've been through and understanding yourself is going to be part of divine timing. It's the same thing I was trying to say with the 3 butterflies being in the middle. 3 is a number of growth and expansion. And some of you, 3 is also about family. The 3rd house is about communication and family. So for some of you, there may be something tied into this when it comes to family wounds or communication in some way that is part of your growth now moving forward. This feels like a very spiritual in nature, this reading, or at least for someone that's been on a long healing journey. Realignment is here. Shift your perspective for a gained sense of clarity. I had this conversation the other day with somebody really close to me that had a disagreement with someone that had passed on, and she said, I'm still mad about that situation, and she's no longer here for her to have that conversation. But in her situation, in that sense, I said, you just have to be able to, if you could, if she was in front of you, what would you really want her to say to help you to be able to process this and move forward? And I said, I would feel like you would want her to say, well, I didn't understand or know what I was doing at the time, and I am sorry for that. But please know that I just was in an illusion, or I just didn't get it. I just didn't understand it at the time, and I do now. And that would be ultimately helpful, in her healing with that, since she won't get that opportunity to actually have that conversation. And really, what that is it's realigning yourself. It's shifting your perspective and having new information or a new insight or a new understanding that's really helping you to kind of seal a situation so that you can realign yourself and continue to move forward. That's what you're doing. That's what this is. It's giving yourself some sort of rest on the journey that you've been on, not taking on any unnecessary commitments, because this was part of the lesson, not taking on anyone else's responsibilities or their healing as your own. And that's another part of that too. I feel like for some of you this may be a message, but sometimes I think we take on other people that we love and care about that do certain things. We feel the need to help them to heal in a certain way, or they may do things to us because of their lack of that, through their wounds. And you can have forgiveness for that person for the way that they went about something, but their growth and their healing and how they perceive that situation is ultimately up to them. That's not something that is up to you. There's only so much that you can do in that. If you take on that weight of someone else, before you know it, you're taking on and you're taking on and you're taking on. And then where are you? And I think this is what you just came out of. So yeah, new discoveries that lead to celebrations and loving yourself first. I do feel like this feels like you're fixing to start to really more open up to who you really are, or being comfortable, or being responsible for who you are, and trusting who you are. And I think that in itself is going to lead you to being able to have new discoveries. Just loving yourself is where it leads you to new experiences and new opportunities. And so divine timing, I feel like the higher purpose in this, there's something that's here, I think, over the next 6 months that will unfold, that will help you to understand a higher purpose of everything. It's almost like, okay, the puzzle pieces are all put together. Now let's put the glue in and be able to seal this, understanding. That's something I think that's going to come in later, as you're integrating this new perspective, and clarity about yourself that you have. Okay, so if that made sense. Now, it's interesting that I actually chose this deck, which is funny. I just choose them, for the pile what I feel intuitively drawn to. And this is the one I chose for y'all. It's the Little Leary Tarot, which is a tarot deck that the author made for his daughter, or about his daughter. So all the little girl in the cards are his daughter's journey. So it's really interesting because I did mention like childhood kind of stuff there, or family wounds being a factor there. But yeah, you've been on a journey. Okay. So pile 4. Rest. 6 of Cups in reverse. There's that not taking on that responsibility. There's something here that you are kind of putting to bed. You're letting yourself unwind here, like it says, about a situation that you've been carrying from the past. This could be with the past person, but it's just memories that you have. Not great memories that you carry from the past. And there's weight with this. This is emotional baggage, emotional burden. And it could also be someone else's emotional baggage and weight that you've been carrying. The 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So for some of you, this definitely has to do with the family. This could also be like, the weight you're carrying from something not coming together in the way that you anticipated. With that 10 of Pentacles, it can be like a situation falling apart that you've accomplished and worked really hard for, and the foundation just kind of collapsed. So that's kind of cleansing yourself from that, taking on that as your own. So either you weren't in it alone, or it wasn't your weight or your responsibility. But this is not taking that on as a commitment that you're carrying this baggage or this weight when it comes to that with. This would be like if you were a child, okay, and your parents are divorced, and you had some issues and some things going on, and you felt like you were the cause of that. As you got older, you felt as if maybe someone made you feel that way, or you felt that you were the cause of whatever it was. This would be like no longer carrying that weight, but recognizing that your parents had their own issues, their own healing that they needed to do, their own circumstances, their own things that were going on. And if they weren't taking responsibility for those things, that's not something that was on you. You were just a innocent bystander in that. You know what I mean? So that could be the message for some of you. Something in that kind of a way that's there. Not that you were, though, for all of you, an innocent bystander, because that was mostly pertaining to if you're a child in that situation. But it's only taking responsibility here, reviewing your responsibilities of it, but not taking all the responsibility of it, you see? 3 of Swords. So there's definitely pain that was here. There's pain here, I feel like, that you have faced when it comes to this situation. And in order for you, and I think that you're well aware now, in order for you to be able to really love yourself the way that you deserve and find happiness in the future, that is a choice. That is always ultimately a choice. And I think that you're kind of choosing, or you chose to face the pain here of the situation, and you're choosing to not let the pain of the situation overtake your desire to ultimately love yourself and be happy. So with that choice, leads towards that's the perspective I feel like that's shifting here for you. If it hasn't already, it is. Yeah, Ace of Swords in reverse. I don't feel like that you need to know everything. You're maybe feeling that way too, as far as what you've been through. There are things I don't know, or there's things that maybe I don't need to know. I have enough information is kind of what I'm getting from that. But more importantly, I feel like this has to do with something in the future here that you're going to get really full clarity or full truth on, like that glue I was talking about when it comes to divine timing. That is going to be like a big breakthrough or understanding. And that's something that's going to come out later, something that you're going to see later. This could be even internally something about yourself that you realize that comes out later. That, everything has that divine timing. This could also have to do with information that you used that you didn't get at some point that you're getting now. That could be helping shift your perspective here. Tell me about Six of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, the Knight of Pentacles. See, before I feel like you had this bullheaded way of seeing something, or you had a particular, or someone did, or you had this particular determination of getting to the bottom of the past memories, or carrying that with you, that hurt and that pain, determined to kind of carry it with you. And that's, again, part of what you're releasing. Why is that Ten of Pentacles in the reverse with stress? Yeah, then the King of Swords in the reverse. Aquarius energy. Again, with stress and unnecessary commitments. This is not taking responsibility for someone else not seeing or understanding you, or, being, not being willing to see your side of the fence or the perspective. That's what a King of Swords in reverse is. He's very stern on his belief systems and very how he wants to do things, and how things are, and how things should be, and how things were, and very stubborn when it comes to what you should be thinking, or seeing my point of view or my perspective kind of situation. It's not taking on the weight of trying to get someone else to change their perspective in that. This is what you're releasing. That's not your responsibility. Why is the Three of Swords? Your responsibility is your own healing, is your own pain. You have a Queen of Wands. Yeah, so you feel confident in this Three of Swords here with happiness. And that's a strange thing to say. Sagittarius energy there, because it's the Three of Swords, right? But it's the Queen of Wands. So it's in with happiness here as well, loving yourself. For some of you, loving yourself means maybe perhaps hurting someone else, or loving yourself might mean having to go through a separation, or go through that pain, or go through that hurt in order to ultimately get to that happier place. But having confidence in yourself, listening to your intuition, and believing in yourself. There's strength on the other side of this. Tell me about Ace of Swords in reverse. Queen of Swords in reverse. Again, divine timing. This is kind of moving into the realignment that you're on, knowing that in divine timing, there are going to be things that will unfold that maybe someone else will understand, or there'll be things that unfold that maybe you'll understand better. But it's basically saying, I am moving into this direction. I feel good about moving into this direction, and I know that I'm moving in a place where I don't see everything, and eventually I will, and I'll deal with it when it comes to light. That kind of a feeling here, just like what we talked about here with the sun and the 3 butterflies. Everything has a higher purpose. You know, there's a reason why someone else may not be seeing you entirely or understanding you entirely. And with timing, sometimes that's something that does help over time. You know, things will come out. There will be more clarity. You'll have more insight, understanding. Sorry, guys. Okay, so let's see what this Queen of Swords in reverse. Well, actually, let's start here and we'll go back this way. Libra's here, by the way. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles with that 6 of Cups in the reverse. The 5 of Swords. So this could be something that you're trying to, like, you're determined to get to the bottom of. You're determined to get someone to see your point of view, or how they hurt you, how they betrayed you, how, you know, harmful they were, that they were choosing to, you know, betray or hurt you at whatever cost. They weren't caring about who they were hurting when they were doing this. You know, this need to get someone else to see what they were doing is something that's part of your past. I feel like you're allowing yourself to kind of release or let go. You know, with that 5 of Swords too, it's mental conflict. And I think that for some of you, this has just been mental, not actually some physical altercation or something like that taking place, disagreement or whatever this is, you know, 5 of Swords. Some of this is like just mental confusion or mental anxiety, you know, around this past, and getting someone, being determined to get someone to understand the conflict that was created and how that conflict was created. And yeah. Tell me about the King of Swords in reverse with that 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. The Magician. Gemini energy. Virgo 2. Yeah, this is, again, this is you trying to conjure up a plan or use everything that you have, you know, to get someone else to understand or see something. When it comes to that 10 of Pentacles being in reverse. And again, unnecessary commitment. You know, this is like saying you can't make someone else feel or see or think a certain way. So why is the Queen of Wands and the 3 of Swords here with the happiness? The 4 of Swords. This is healing. See, you go from the 3 to the 4 here. This is healing. This is allowing yourself to dream of a better future is something that's here. Having confidence in, you know, whatever pain was here, caused, felt, you chose. Even if it's just kind of this feeling of being strong and confident that you made the right choice for yourself. Kind of just resting and sitting in what this is. Focusing on your own healing, focusing on your own journey, and loving yourself. Allowing yourself to sit and rest with this. You've confronted your own pain. And you're already past that. You know, you've already integrated that, and you're in this place of rest. So you're allowing yourself to actually dream of a better life, a better world, a better place, a better situation. Releasing and letting go. This feels like a surrender. This can also be no contact for some of you, where you're just taking the time to kind of heal, and you know, you're not communicating here with someone. If that's the case for some of you, there may be someone here that is hurt or upset but there's this cutting contact here with that person. That's for some of you, not everybody. If it is, this could be someone else, not this person that's here, if that's the case, okay? That's not for all of you. Some of you, it may be the same person. Just take it how it resonates, but it feels different energy. Why is that Ace of Swords in the reverse with that Queen of Swords in reverse? Look at that. Slow and steady wins the race. You have the Knight of Cups here on the turtle. Yeah. This is kind of where divine timing, I do feel like, if this has to do with love and romance, or this feels like something that is part of your future, all in divine timing, that you'll understand it one day, why you experienced this or went through what you did. You know, the Queen of Swords in reverse is on the table, and I know she gets a bad reputation when she's in reverse because she can be very like, this is the way I'm doing it, and where she doesn't have, she's hurt and she doesn't have the ability to see any other way of doing it because she's hurt. She says things or she reacts in ways because she's hurt. But I'm not seeing that so much here. This may have been something that was part of your past that you're still integrating, like you're still kind of starting to understand how you can be different and trying not to react in that same way is something that's here. Like, that's a process. It's not something that's happening overnight. But for some of you, this has to do with, I mean, basically what this is saying to me is that your future is still being written, and timing is a big, big part of this. It's almost like Spirit is saying, okay, you really need this time to rest. You really, really need this time to rest. You need this time to go through all these transformations, because 6 months from now, 3 months from now, 3 weeks from now, you're not going to see yourself in the same way. You're going to keep realizing that you are not the same because of whatever this gain perspective is or shift is taking place. Oh, I'm sorry about that. This is George. My cat George, I found that in the store. I had to have it. It looks just like him. Okay, so is there anything I'm missing here or any kind of advice you can give pile 4 moving forward? Justice in reverse. So let's talk about that for a second. Libra energy. We don't always get justice. You know, that's honestly, I think that's been one of the hardest things for me to kind of understand. I think it is for most people, especially if you're in a situation where you really want someone to see how they hurt you. You want someone to see your point of view. You want someone to see why you did certain things, or that you're different, or you're not the same, or you want someone to, you want to be seen. Everybody wants to be seen, and sometimes we actually do not actually get that. Sometimes we really don't. And sometimes justice takes place in an unseen world. And that's just the reality. And I feel like that's something that you're going to you're going to be going through. You're going to be understanding here. Moving forward. Sometimes things that happen are just really meant to help us grow ultimately, spiritually, and not meant to have some grand I can't say it. Grand kind of overall healing that takes place. It's just sometimes, unfortunately, the pain that we go through is meant for our own growth and not this overall bigger perspective or even higher purpose. I mean, the higher purpose would be personal growth. We just have to be able to see it like that. If you can't see it like that, if you can't have that perspective, then you're choosing to stay in an old version of yourself. Yeah, Two of Wands. Keep going. And I think that's what you're going to get to. I think that you will find yourself in a place to where you stop or you let go of the need to be seen and having justification on your side, you know. And you're going to move forward here with this Two of Wands. It's like taking a new direction, taking a new path, focusing on the future. Focusing on what's in front of you, no longer what is behind you. And the Two of Cups is here. So for some of you, this has to do with you. I just heard bonding in my head. So you could be bonding with someone new. This could be a relationship you're already in where you're choosing that connection here. You're making plans here, and this could even be just in your future, you know. I'm making plans for in my future. One day I am going to have this loving, you know, trusting connection with someone. But I also feel like for some of you, this is you making a commitment to yourself that if happiness shows up, you won't close yourself off to that opportunity. And that is definitely due to the amount of healing that you've done. Okay. What a wonderful thing. I don't think I've ever done that before. And one of my favorite things to do is to sit and have coffee and have conversation. Conversation and coffee. I have a friend that lives a couple of blocks down, and she calls sometimes. And it's like the best thing in the world, right? In the morning to sit outside and have coffee, and on a nice morning. She's like, my porch or yours? And I'm like, doesn't matter to me. Just get your butt somewhere. Let's have some deep conversations. But I don't think I've ever done that on a... Well, I mean, I've done it on a boat before, but not like that. That's different, right? I bet that's a good feeling. Okay. I don't know why I got so sidetracked on that. But I did. You have Strength in reverse. This is one of my favorite cards just because this big old blue-eyed dragon in the background and above her. It's funny. In Seven of Wands, yeah. Strength in reverse in the Seven of Wands and the Emperor. This is you taking control here. And for some of you, you may have felt, and this is going to sound strange, okay? Some of you may have felt that it was a weakness to defend yourself. A weakness to stand guard about certain things that you're not going to do, like taking on someone else's responsibility or protecting yourself in a situation. Some of you may have felt like that was weak. And the strong thing to do would be to take on responsibility for that. I'll do it. I'll take on the responsibility. And I think that's ultimately what your shift in perspective is happening here is you don't see that same way. You're starting to say to yourself, well, I don't think it actually is a strong character to take on everyone else's responsibilities. This could have been a could have been taught this, you know, growing up, to put everyone else above your own needs. I mean, I feel like a lot of us are, but I think that that's something that you're realizing has maybe contributed to where you are, and that's something that you're also realizing is not a strength. Okay. Now, of course, there are times in our life where we have to do that if we are responsible for others in a certain way, right? Use your own discernment there. I don't know why I feel like I needed to say that, but I feel like somebody was like, well, what if? Okay, so let's get some. I just saw Joy. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I think I want to read it. Let's do it. And it's got popcorn on it. I think that's why I paused, because my middle child did not inform me and my youngest that he ate the last bag of popcorn. And so when we had movie night last night, which we watched Stretch, by the way, which was on Prime, and it's Really cute kids movie if y'all have kids. But it has a good meaning behind it too, of course. But anyway, I was so excited about popcorn. I don't know why. I just really wanted some popcorn. And he took the last bag, and I went in there, and I was so upset with them. I was like, you've got to tell somebody when you take the last bag of popcorn. What's wrong with you? You don't do that. I could have bought it, which I have, by the way. I already have some on order. So it says, to enjoy something, I simply need to add joy to it. Joy is like butter. I can put it on anything, and it'll make it way better. Today, I will add joy to everything. Really slather it on. Today, I am the Oliver Regenbachers of joy, and life's popcorn is about to get it. So now I can't read that without thinking about my friend Joy over at Journey in Light. And I kind of giggled when it was talked about simply adding joy to everything, you know. I feel like that's the way she is. You add her to everything. She always makes everything better. This could be a reverse kind of advice for you guys too, is understanding that you can't always make everything better. You know, you can't always make someone feel better or that situation be better. There's times when, I mean, you just have to let other people heal themselves in their own way, in their own time and understanding. You can't do that for everybody. Even if you have a heart where you really want to, heal everybody if you could. Okay. But with this, it's just saying, you know, you can add joy to all kinds of stuff in your life, despite whatever you've experienced or went through. But again, that is always a choice. Okay. It's a choice whether or not to put butter on your popcorn. You know? Okay. Let's get one more, and then we'll get an overall spirit card, and then we will close. Power. I like the power. This comes out a lot, actually. Okay. I am strong. I am grounded. I am powerful. I am like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank, but not a tank that's used for war. I'm like a peaceful, loving dino tank who feels so strong it doesn't need to do anything but be. Now, I feel like that's a perfect way to end this reading because of what we talked about here with strength, which you have Aries and Leo energies here. Yeah, that's what you're, I think, integrating is you feel strong, and you don't need to do anything but just be. And that's the same thing. Sometimes you just have to let it be. Wasn't it who sang that song? Let It Be. Is it the Beatles that sings that? Let it be. What are the lyrics to that? I'm gonna have to go listen to that, y'all. Okay, so overall card, please. Whoop. It's time to play. It's insinuating that you need to go have some fun. Number 17 is the Star Tarot, so that is healing. You know, playing is healing. Adding butter to your popcorn is healing. Having fun, watching movies with your kids, that's healing. You know, there's this, like, enjoy that time. It's healing. You're working too hard and worrying about everything. Seek out joyous experiences to bring balance into your life. So that was the first message that's here. You can kind of see that on the table. Rest. You know, don't take on unnecessary commitments, and, you know, focus on new experiences. So, okay. Let's get some initials and some charms to close. Let's see what we have. You may get some kind of a message here for some of you. You may get some kind of a apology. I always kind of see that with yellow. This could also be a friend maybe you haven't heard from in a while. But there's some sort of a message here you're going to be receiving. Okay, and this is also like Cancer energy with the crab, but it can be going side to side about something. You know, maybe that's somebody that you've dealt with, or that could be just you kind of going back and forth, back and forth. But Cancer's about the fourth house, and fourth house is home. So being in this secure place for yourself, I think, is really important. Focusing on yourself and being in this securing a place here internally, you know. And we talk about having boundaries externally all the time, but we don't really talk about it as internally as much. And you have to be able to have those boundaries with yourself when it comes to not taking responsibility for others' commitments or responsibilities or weight. Having those boundaries with yourself in order to protect yourself. And you have the owl here, so being of higher wisdom, being smart, seeing all around you, knowing that there's a million different ways of seeing something. But higher wisdom and listening to your higher self, I feel like, is important. Also, I feel like you have this deeper understanding that things will come in the future. You know, things will, over divine timing, you'll see the higher purpose. It's okay to make mistakes. We have life is tough, but so are you. Yeet or be yeeted. We have V for victory. And we have X, S, Z, Z. We have an M or a W. We have a C, an H, and a K. I heard chew in my head. Like chew on it. Let me chew on it. No, some people say. Okay. Victory versus victorious. Victoria. Victor. I can't say Victor without thinking about Despicable Me. That might mean something too. Okay. Alright, guys. So I'm going to leave you here. And thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and kindness, of course. I definitely hope this helps. Good luck to you guys moving forward. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.